So we're gonna do something different today, which is giving myself self feedback, or giving myself feedback, which is self feedback. And I wanted to do this in order to show you guys how I personally um, look at what I do and then try to figure out what I'm doing wrong, and from there, try to fix it. So this is what I usually do. Whenever I record a video of myself doing something, it makes it that much easier to see if I'm making a mistake. So in this video, so far I've done this for 4 days and today's the fifth day. One of the reasons I'm doing this actually is because my shoulders are really sore and I can no longer do the hand hops safely or in a way where I don't risk injuring myself. So I have to be careful, and that's why I'm going to take this as a rest day and not do anything. Um, let's see. So right here, I'm in a handstand. For me, I think I'm doing this with pretty decent form, but at the same time, my legs right here could definitely be, my foot right here can definitely be better. The most optimal thing to do is to point your toes up. That sort of makes you feel like your weight is trying to shift upwards, which makes it sort of seem like you're lighter. That's something my gymnastics coach tells me to do all the time, and I still haven't gotten into the habit of doing it. So that's one fix I really need to try to do this coming week. I'm going to rest for Saturday and Sunday. I'm not going to record any videos or anything, and I think I'm going to keep it up. Keep up this sort of rhythm, just recording on weekdays only and resting on the weekend. I think that's a good rhythm for now, while I'm still getting back into things. I'll see if that changes later on. But in this first video, I was mainly just starting this hand hop goal and doing a lot of handstands as well as hand hops. So what I did was handstands for about 10 seconds and then hand hops, as many as, only two. And it's pretty decent form. I think what I can do better, at least from that angle, I couldn't see it too well, so let's change it back to the side view. I think that time I just did a handstand. Let me check. Nope. Okay, so I do think that was pretty decent form, but let's see if I can make it better in some way. Okay, so in this one, I make sure that I am fully stable before I do the kicks, and I think that's what I should do every single time, no matter what. Gaining that handstand stability first before doing the hops is very essential. Otherwise, I'll never feel that sense of stability. So that's good. And then I hop, but you can see that I moved back from my position, so there's a little bit of kick going that way, and that is something I need to fix. I can see how my kick drives me backwards. What I should be doing is having my knees closer to this area and then trying to kick upwards instead. So that's definitely something I need to fix for next week. I'll really focus on trying to get that in better shape, because I do feel like my hand hops are somewhat incorrect form, just somewhat. But that's pretty much it for this day. I did a lot of talking, telling you guys what my goals were, and let's go ahead and go to the next one. It's the first time I ever tried a follow along, and I don't think it went that well because I kept forgetting to tell you guys what to do, which, that's the point of a follow along. So let's get to the part where I do the hand hops. I'll definitely do a better follow along next time, just be sure to have in mind exactly what I'm gonna say, what I'm gonna like show you guys, so I can like perhaps count out loud. And yeah, most of it will be stretching, most of it will be like flexibility exercises or mobility exercises to help you guys achieve um, any sort of move, I guess, because you need mobility for most of the stuff that you do in breaking or gymnastics or anything. So this is the part where I got to the handstands, and this is where I started to try to do handstand to hand hops. It sort of just came out of the blue. Um, it wasn't something I planned on doing. Hand hop, hand hop. And I tried to keep the position, but I couldn't. That's something I did later on. But those two hand hops were pretty decent, not bad. I'd say they were better than the first days. Yeah, there isn't too much to give feedback for just because I'm just getting back into things. And in terms of handstand form, it's pretty decent. I just got to remember my toes. So let's go ahead and see this. This is where I started to do the handstand to hand hops pretty well. And surprisingly too, because this day I didn't really... Yeah, so you can see that the way I do my hand hops isn't like perfectly right. My legs are sort of sagging this way. I do feel that my knees should definitely be closer, and I should be kicking upwards versus like kicking like that way. So I will be fixing that. What I gotta do is like look at someone else do hand hops, um, like perfectly, and then compare my form to theirs. So I'll do that after I finish this video. But I did it 3 times in a row without fail, which was um, pretty good. I was happy about that. Yeah, the way I set up in the beginning for this one was definitely better because my knees are more flat versus straight, and then my legs sagging. And then the kick was pretty good too. But then the second one, it became messy. So what I should have done was bring my knees back in to where the first position was. And then let's go ahead and actually look at the single hand hops, because that's something I need to... That's my ultimate goal for this whole thing, so I definitely should be doing feedback on those. Okay, let's see this. The reason I do that is because I'm trying to get better form. That right there. And then you can tell that I have no stability whatsoever before I kick. Like, I'm just getting into position and then kicking. But it's not terrible form. It's definitely, like, you can see that it's somewhat of a hand hop. But the direction I'm kicking is definitely like forcing me that way. So I need to kick more up than that way. Same thing with, I guess, two-handed hand hops. Same issue. So maybe if I fix like one of them, it'll help with the sort of a connection with the other one. But that one was decent. Wasn't like terrible, but wasn't great. And then my left hand one, I definitely know that it needs a lot of work. If you look from the back, it's not bad. I do feel like I'm bending slightly, which is bad, but in terms of the form, it's getting there. My kicks though are terrible. Like, I'm not sure what's happening to my left leg. It's sort of kicking directly away. So that's not helpful whatsoever. So left side, I feel like what I really need to work on is getting a stable one-handed hold first. Otherwise, there's no point in even trying it. I suppose there is a point, but it's just not safe trying it. And I do say that in this video. Like I'm always getting worried about falling, so I immediately put my hand down. I think more so here because the ground is a lot harder versus the day before this one, where the ground is more forgiving and I'm less scared. So I have to also take that into account. Yeah, you can tell my form just it sucks. It's getting better, but like initially it was terrible. Um, so my left leg is okay. My right leg is they're not even kicking at the same time. That is really bad. Let's go ahead and see my right one. I think I did that first. Right hand. Decent position. I could be. My legs should probably be more. This leg should probably be a bit more. I don't know how to say it. Like rotated, I guess. That was just okay. That wasn't bad. I definitely kicked more up than I did that way. And then looks like I lost balance there. Like completely lost balance. Let's see what happened exactly. So my form is decent here. It looks like I'm already in balance actually. It looks like most of my weight is there because if you look at my arm position, you can see that there's no way this can like hold me if I were to like stay in that position. My chest needs to be more leaning more towards this area where my head is. So that's something I should try to fix. Lean more in. Lean more forward. This is a more stable position here versus the one like before. But I was already getting out of it. I think what happened is I think this is my right leg. My right leg just died. Like it after it kicked, it stopped flexing, and that's what happened. Like it decided to just go down, but my left leg continued to flex and kick up. So, but I think it did that because I was falling. So, but we'll have to try again next week. I think for now this was a decent feedback session. There's a lot to do. This is the first week getting back into things for handstands, hand hops, breaking in general. Right now, I'm primarily doing this to get hand hops for airflares, and I would love to get at least 1 or 2 airflares by the end of 2020. So that is my ultimate goal for now. My ultimate goal for this whole series is just to get some hand hops for both hands. I think I'd be happy with 5 to 10 on each side. And so far I have 1 on my right side and I'd say 0 on my left side. So that was week 1. I'm going to rest for the weekend and continue this back up on Monday. Anyways, thanks for watching, and if you found this video useful, give it a like and subscribe. Thanks.